So naturally, we go to the driver. Why? The driver is the most important club in your bag. So the POV of getting set up for the driver when you have the long band, we have the connector at the balance point of the golf club. Let's go ahead and get set to the driver. The driver has played the most forward in my stance. I've got my left foot immediately left of that red stick. Now if I was playing an iron shot, it'd be on the, the ball would be positioned back there, middle left of in my stance, but there's the visual perspective of a setup with the driver. Now during that takeaway, you can see how the hands stay close to the band. Nothing gets soft and zipped inside. Nice and wide as we start the takeaway. And as we go to hit it, that's when the band will soften and then expand into a nice long condition through impact as my body stays back to hit that ball. People always say you putt for dough, you drive for show and you putt for dough. Actually, you drive for the dough and you putt for the show, because if you don't drive it well, you're behind the 8 ball all day and you better putt well. Typically, if you drive it well, you have nice days playing golf and you complain about the putts that didn't go in. But if you drive it poorly, it's a hectic day. So let's talk about some swing shape. Let's talk about how this golf club's mass can go one way or the other. This is a huge deal. And then naturally, when you connect this to the balance point of a golf club, it's the farthest point away from the connection on the rail. So you're going to feel the most torque. Now, when I hit driver with this, I'm not going for my biggest distance. I can't swing it my fastest when I have the exercises through the swing trainer. I'm just putting my body through awareness, muscular, fascial, all these things where the club is when I can't see it, all the stuff that I need to do to develop my game. So when I'm in this position with a driver, there's a lot of force coming toward me from the band. I mean, the longer it gets stretched, the more force it has. In fact, if you find it too much of a force, just move it up the shaft a couple inches. That's okay. But I'm going to start it on that balance point. And the reason being is I want you to understand, there's my address position. You can see how I've got the ball the most forward in my stance. In fact, I put it on the red stick in my toolbox versus the white stick, which is ball position off the ground. And then a hybrid or three would be somewhere between the white and the red. So with this driver, from my visual perspective as I look down, my hands are covering the red stick in front of me. And I have this tension in the band to where I want to feel this sense of hands on the band. Nothing goes suddenly behind me where the band gets soft. This is the #1 boo-boo I see at my golf camp. People that hit slices immediately go this way to swing inside out, where I want you to feel like you can keep wide like a Rory McIlroy, build this big swing, and then let the club shallow behind you with decent wrist conditions to hit a little pushy draw. So as I tap a shot out there, lead arm on top of me with structure, trail arm for support, nice and high and wide swing. This is going to be about a 65–70% energy as I hit one. Let's go ahead and hit one into a little bit of a sawed-off fall through, but that was a nice shot. And from the downline camera, you can see what's happening with that connection. That is not over the top, people. That is not something where I'm over the top, hanging back, trying to correct a face that's out of position. If you can understand this move and do these shots at a slow speed, you are well on your way to kissing your slice goodbye forever. Because you may hit one off the heel and it may bleed out to right field, but no longer are you having this steep angle of attack down onto the ball, spinning it because the club's over here. It has no choice but to hit down. You are now letting the club orbit behind you where rotation matters, and you can hit a golf ball into a nice pushy draw or functionally straight shot. So get a ball and a tee, and yeah, this is a bit of a workout. Starting to get a little arm sweat going here. It's a warm day in Phoenix. Feels great, little breeze, love it. Doing my work, getting set. The ball is positioned the most forward within my stance. Trust me, doing these protocols now for you guys on video, I am feeling it. I'm going to feel it later today. You can bet it. And I want to. I'm going to stand that club up high and wide, let it go behind me, rotate that inside out strike, hit a little push draw out there. There's a nice little strike, pretty straight, actually tick of fade. But the intent is there for this, and that's what I want you to understand. You are starting to understand how to let the club's mass fall to one side or the other of the hands. This behavior, this learning condition of a backswing to a downswing, how we have this width, how the club goes behind us, how we unwind that to cheek. You can see both cheeks of my rear end hitting a ball up into a finish. And so after you get a couple of those in and you have certainty, you can just unclip it and grab a 3-wood and hit some, or just undo the clip. I like to put the bolt, the nut and bolt nice and tight so it doesn't potentially come off. Now, I've put the feel in a couple times, really important. Train in that new feel. Let's hit a shot. I would say it's a bizarre thing when you take the rubber band off, what that's going to present. So go ahead and make a practice feel or two. What's that like in the body? Great. Nice wide stance. My body's behind what I'm hitting. Let's go ahead and tater one out there. Naturally, you'll swing quite a bit faster when you're not working with the band on, and that was roasted. I'll take 14 of those when I play golf.